Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Well, looking at all the drama, do you think that PDP governors will stay united in saying no to a coalition, or is there a chance that some might break ranks?
Can you repeat the question again? You break up somewhere.
I said, looking at all the drama happening within the PDP, do you think the governors can stand united in saying no to the coalition, or is there a chance that they might break ranks?
Yes, I agree with my brother Shewumi until, when he said the governors forum are not, recognizing the constitution of the party. And my own opinion is that he who pays the piper dictates the tune. Exactly. When you are talking of PDP today, there is no way you can wipe off or wish away the governors. They are the unseen hand behind whatever is happening in PDP. And this is the fact. If they now come together and say, as a political party, we are a brand. We cannot, not that we don't welcome other political parties into our party. The umbrella is big enough to accommodate everybody. But we will not wipe off the name, a brand, for lesser political parties. The governors are united, and that is exactly why they came up with that unique information to the public that we don't agree with the coalition being done by Atiku. And I personally, as the Odeyemi, this is a personal opinion, I want to believe that Atiku is pursuing his personal ambition through the coalition, forgetting that you will lead the party as a ladder through which you can step up. That is it. So the governors are united for now. We don't see and we are not anticipating anything that will break their ranks. They are speaking with one voice, and they have made it clear that as the leader of the party, as governors that emerge from the party does not believe on coalition. Even though at the end of the day, all other political parties can come to them and say, yes, we want to partner with you. We want to rescue power from APC. Let us see ourselves as partners. Not that the PDP as a brand, as a bigger political party, we now go and join lesser.
Now, Mr. Odeyemi, let me still stay with you with this question. What is in a name if you cannot win an election? Moreover, political parties' aim is to win an election. At the time, the AC and the CPC felt, look, for us to win an election, we must dissolve our own individual party and form a merger. They did that, and they won that particular election. Now, PDP is at a crossroad, wanting to win an election. What will it cost PDP? Dropping its name, forming a merger, becoming a stronger party to win. Don't you think if you keep sticking to the name, you're a big party that some people say is fractured, can you win the 2027 election?
Now, we did not win because, number one, we did not respect the internal arrangement of zoning, the presidential election within the party. Take, for instance, Buhari spent 80 years as governor from the north. Presenting another candidate from the north is a brass strategy. There's no way we can, you can say it and meet the yearnings of Nigerians. And not at the time when the South are complaining that, yes, this is the time to produce a candidate from the South. But in a way, through, let me say, the support of the Northerners among themselves, Atiku Abubakar emerged as the candidate. And from there, we ran into problems. And don't forget, we kept emphasizing that with these 5 governors, if we don't dance to our tune, if we don't obey our own demand, we are not able to meet our demand, we are not likely to win the election. And because of ego and rascality of some people, the demands of Wike that you cannot have a northerner as a presidential candidate, a northerner as the campaign manager, a northerner as the chairman of the party. Let the chairman of the party relinquish his position so that we can give it to someone from the south. They refused. So we lost the election, not because PDP as a political party is not popular or is not wanted in Nigeria, but because of our bad strategy.
All right. Mr. Shomi, I would like to come back to you. The People's Democratic Party's National Vice Chairman, South, Chief Dan Obi, says Wike is not the party's problem. The real problem is those who want to contest the presidential election. And I believe that he's referring to Atiku himself. Every time without following the party's constitutional guidelines. Is this narrative, is it accurate?
You know, we ran into a trap, PDP, by the so-called Asaba Accord that was done before 2023. And it was a trap in the sense that political parties must of necessity look at the numbers and where would they get those numbers. Unfortunately for the PDP, we had been a party that does north-south on our own terms. Those who became APC, the combination of AMPP, CPC, and maybe ACN, they had always done their own zoning on their own terms. As a matter of fact, they never followed us in a north-south respect. Every time we were on the ballot, when Obasanjo was there, Buhari, a northerner, was trying to be. When Jonathan was there, Buhari, a northerner, was trying to be. So they stuck to the north because they felt they could get the numbers. Myopic, not far-reaching thought processes drove the PDP into an arrangement where they now had something called a phony Asaba Accord, where they sat there with their colleagues, also gentlemen of governors of the other parties, to say in one breath the presidency must come from a particular zone. That zoning conversation favored our rivals because naturally they were already in the north. There was nowhere else for them to go than south. But how did it favor us? When we had done Obasanjo from southwest, we had done Jonathan from south-south, we had done tickets to Atiku, you know, those kinds of things. So Yaradua, with due respect, from the north, he just died. So we were now caught in a trap. We had been sitting in the south for the longer period, and we were beginning to make our northerners feel that they couldn't push their aspiration on our ticket. And the best thing we could do, because of the kind of party we were, in 2019 was, okay, let's go north. If we had gone north in 2019, and the candidate had won, would we not have been duty-bound to give him the right of first refusal of saying he will stay?
So is it until he wins?
No, you missed the point. The point I'm making is that we didn't have that southern burden. The only southern burden PDP has, which it still has till today, is the southeast. But unfortunately, Wike was every part of people that did that. So you say, oh, this Wike. I am a man who begs God to lead. And if you want to lead, you must beg God for the principles and the idea of fairness and being able to see, not just blame people. I have not seen one instance, with due respect, where Wike was the aggressor. What I have seen, on the other hand, is that they will do an action and then he will do a reaction. And then everybody will start shouting his name, which is fine. Maybe that is his destiny. But I want to be very clear. I was here on Jory Folani's program before we did the 2023 election when I said, and I still repeat, the PDP must understand that there are men and there are bigger men. In the PDP, the men that can get us out of this quagmire are two in the final analysis. Because of the length of time Atiku has been contesting in this country and the gravitas of always being either number one or number two and all of that, chasing number one and being number two, you can't measure how many people have been. Can you see what just one person calling a meeting or coalition is already doing? So if you underrate Atiku, you do it at your period. But I insist that you cannot underrate Wike.
Okay.
Because if you could, If you could, why will he not even be a governor? And you people are still screaming the same wicked guy.
All right, Mr. Odeyemi, are you here with us?
Yes.
Now that
I'm
the
here with
PDP,
you.
all right. Now that the PDP says the deputy national secretary will act as the national secretary until a new one is picked from the southeast, but Samuel Anyanwu is still holding up to his guns.
Well, it is still an internal issue that will be resolved. When I say it's an internal issue, I mean it simply because the judgment of the court is not clear about who actually is the secretary of the party. I'm not a lawyer, but what I was told is that the party has the right to choose who will be its national officer, not that the court will choose for us. Now, if the governors in their wisdom are now saying Okoye and Anyanwu are the two principal officers who are behind this crisis, why not leave it behind and leave it for a larger combination or larger decision maker of the party, which is the NEC? Pending that time, there cannot be a vacuum. Let us have the deputy national secretary to act in that situation. I think it's a wise decision.
Okay.
Rather than continue to wallow this crisis.
All right.